on a special edition of Brian Ross Investigates. President Trump was roundly criticized and mocked for his suggestion that Americans should ingest bleach as a way to treat the coronavirus.
Experts called the idea a stroke of genius, minus the of genius part.
Is there a way we can do something like that by injection?
But meet the man who was full of praise for the president's words.
I pray for you all the time. You are doing a good job cleaning the swamp.
Mark Grenon is a self-proclaimed bishop who's been peddling bleach solutions to unsuspecting followers for years, claiming it can cure cancer, autism, and now COVID-19. Plus, who's Zooming who? The whole country is on Zoom for online business meetings, school classes, family reunions, and cocktail parties. We'll talk with the internet sleuths who discovered giant security holes in the Zoom app. Who's listening in as you share drinks with friends during social distancing? Plus, your questions about COVID-19 and the law, your job, your home, your rights.
We'd like to know what rights we have.
What do you suggest we do?
From the Law&Crime Network, this is a special COVID-19 edition of Brian Ross Investigates. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Brian Ross, and this is a special report from the Law&Crime Network and for our viewers on YouTube Live and Facebook Live, COVID-19 and the Law. And I'm joined today by my colleague at Law&Crime, investigative reporter Rhonda Schwartz. And Rhonda, we passed a grim milestone in the country today. 1 million cases now of people infected by the COVID-19, the coronavirus. And that has meant much of the country remains on lockdown, although some states are opening up. We're still pretty much at home and coming to depend more and more on what's going on in terms of getting our food and our packages delivered. Lots of questions now, Rhonda, about Amazon.
Well, there's probably no company that's more essential. Everyone at home is ordering Amazon online. But this week, the New York State Attorney General has opened an investigation into Amazon, alleging health and safety practices are not adequate in their New York plants, and further saying she's going to investigate a chilling effect that workers are being retaliated against for speaking out about safety practices.
Indeed, the owner of, or the lead stockholder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, one of the richest, if not the richest man in America, is now taken charge of the company. But around the country, we're hearing complaints from employees at Amazon, all carried on local news this week.
Hundreds of Amazon warehouse workers across this country are threatening a mass call out to protest what they say is a lack of coronavirus protections.
A mass sick out planned for today with more than 300 workers expected to participate from around the country.
You're not really doing social distancing. There's about 500 to 600 people in the building on a daily basis.
The company has said previously that it has stepped up the cleaning of its work sites, started taking employees' temperatures, and supplied them with protective face masks.
The workers are reportedly demanding that the company immediately close down any facilities where positive cases of the virus have been confirmed and to provide 2 weeks' pay and testing to workers at those locations.
Going into work kind of scares me because we have a silent killer inside of our job, and Amazon is not taking the proper precautions to slow the spread or even stop the spread.
I have to do this. I can't not pay my bills and live my life. But then it was just really uneasy knowing that I could possibly contract COVID-19 while at work and either become ill or even possibly die from it.
Workers have that difficult choice of like, do I go to work or do I and risk it, or do I have no money, basically.
So, Rhonda, what does Amazon say about all of these complaints from workers and the New York State Attorney General investigation?
Well, Amazon did not respond to our invitation to appear on the program, but they're posting daily updates on their website. They say they have done everything necessary to keep workers safe in the warehouse, and they've increased wages, they've added more paid sick leave if you get COVID, and Jeff Bezos himself has personally donated $100 million to food banks. And the around the country, there's, oh, sorry, Brian, go ahead.
No, you go finish up, Rhonda.
Just going to say that they're hiring for 100,000, they're advertising for 100,000 new jobs. So there's a lot of work out there for Amazon and for those workers.
Yes, but lots of questions, and let's get to our legal panel to talk about the issue at Amazon and other large companies still trying to carry out their business. We're joined now by Luigi Izzo of the Berman Law Group and Angela Roddick-Wright of the Roddick Law Group. Now, let me start with you, Angela. What do you make of these Amazon workers, and do they have a legal case at some point?
Well, it's really a catch-22 situation. As Rhonda indicated, individuals need to work, and the public, we rely on Amazon for so much. So certainly we want Amazon to keep operating, but we also want them to make sure across the board, we know they have so many warehouses, but that they are taking a unified approach across the board to protect their workers, to honor social distancing requirements, to provide the workers with the protective equipment that they need in order to feel safe and protected at work. So do these employees have a claim? Possibly they do, especially if there's evidence that there's been retaliation in response to certain employees stepping up and leading the call for protection of workers. So there are possibly definite legal claims that can arise out of this. But I'm personally hoping that Amazon will continue to step up and do the right thing and protect their workers.
Well, Luigi Izzo, let me ask you, one employee up against a big multi-hundred-billion-dollar corporation, do they have a chance even in court against Amazon or companies like that?
Well, first off, the federal government gives stronger protections to whistleblowers. Obviously, the government knows that the employees are their eyes and ears on the ground. And obviously, just hence like the term whistleblower, they need to blow a whistle. If somebody does blow a whistle with those stronger protections, and if Amazon, these allegations are true against Amazon, there could be cases brought into federal court in front of a federal judge, and there could be stringent consequences and damages brought. I mean, it can even be like a mass action. And what I'm hearing, there are several hundred employees. This isn't even just one individual. But technically, the reason why the federal government gives a stronger protection to whistleblowers is that, quite frankly, yes, a huge corporation can threaten you with your job, can, have your human resource file, add things, have write-up complaints, wrongful terminations. There's all kinds of circumstances. But what employees need to know is that there are stronger protections for you. If you do seek legal counsel, there are laws out there that can protect you to stop them from retaliating. And if it's found out that they did retaliate, there could be stringent damages that they would have to pay the employee as well as the class if there's a class brought.
Okay, Luigi. Angela, a question for you from Rhonda Schwartz.
So, Angela, if you are one of those workers who has spoken out and you're fired, what should be your next steps? What are the rights for the average worker in this situation?
That employee should first make a complaint to Human Resources so that Human Resources can initiate an immediate investigation and try to remedy the situation. If the employee has already been terminated, as you indicated, that employee should seek legal counsel so they can be sure to receive good advice about how to pursue their claim and the benefits of pursuing a claim or the possible challenges in pursuing a claim. And certainly they can reach out to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, also called the EEOC, to file a complaint and request that the EEOC investigate. And each state has an equivalent organization to the EEOC. In California, for example, we have the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, and individuals in California can also file a complaint with that state agency, and it's the same throughout the states, requesting that that organization or that agency investigate and look into the complaint. But I think getting good quality legal counsel on the front end may help employees and individuals to navigate and to know the best course of action for their particular claim.
All right, and Luigi, here's a question a little bit different from one of our viewers. According to reports, some employees are actually going to make more money on unemployment and with the government's stimulus check than they would have been if they're working. Do you think that's fair? Our viewer asks.
Well, it's hard to say what's fair. I mean, you have people in a situation right now that even their paychecks probably wouldn't carry them as far. I believe that the governments are giving extra money they're making a couple of extra dollars. I don't think it would be so significantly more, but and at this time, I think it's probably necessary. What scares me is that if they extend it, say that we're in July, we're in August, and they're extending unemployment benefits, and these jobs are trying to get these employees back. But if they were making $500 a week working, and now they're making $900 on unemployment, what would be the incentive for an employee to come back? So I think that's where we're going to start having issues.
Indeed. And Angela, in fact, the Wall Street Journal is reporting today that some employers are already having trouble trying to find enough people to come back to work because of all the benefits they're getting out of work. What do you make of that, Angela?
Yes, it is definitely a glitch in the system. And in fact, whether it be related to the Payroll Protection Act or unemployment, things happen so quickly. These laws came out and the expansions of unemployment benefits and sick leave and so many other benefits happened so fast that the agencies that are processing these claims have not caught up. And so when it comes to unemployment, and it was reported in the LA Times today as well, that many employees don't have an incentive to go back. But the problem is the unemployment will eventually run out and employees will need to return to work and will want to return to work. So hopefully we can find that balance and that employers will be in a good position to hire individuals and to rehire individuals when all of this ends.
All right. Well, after a break, we're going to continue with more of your questions for our panel of legal experts. Plus, we're going to meet the man who claims he's a bishop and has been offering commercial bleach as a cure for autism, cancer, and now COVID-19, and he's praising President Trump. You're watching the Law and Crime Network.